In the vast emptiness of space, the Othora Empire had always seen itself as the supreme force in the galaxy. For centuries, they had conquered planet after planet, their fleets unrivaled, their warriors unbeatable. No species had ever dared to challenge them until now. The Othora fleet, a mighty armada of hundreds of warships, had set their sights on Earth. Their scanners had shown it as a relatively primitive planet, home to a species they believed would fall easily to their might. They had watched for decades, learning about humanity's wars, their history of conflict, and their many failures. Earth's inhabitants, the humans, were nothing special. Their weapons were outdated, their technology far behind. The Othora were certain that their invasion would be effortless. The fleet descended upon Earth, their ships filling the skies with ominous, sleek shadows. They broadcasted their arrival, making it clear that resistance was futile. The Othora sent a message to Earth's leaders. "We are the Othora," the voice echoed. "We have come to claim your world. Submit now, or your extinction will be swift." What the Othora didn't know was that they had provoked the wrong species. Humanity, unlike any species the Othora had encountered before, had an unyielding spirit. Earth's governments, long divided, immediately set aside their differences. The moment the Othora fleet appeared, humans mobilized in a way no one expected. At first, the Othora fleet laughed at the humans' attempts to defend themselves. They watched as fighter jets scrambled into the air, their weapons insignificant against the sheer power of the alien ships. The Othora had never seen such primitive attempts at combat. They weren't even worth targeting. But then, the humans did something that surprised them. An emergency broadcast was sent to every human on Earth. It wasn't a plea for help or a message of surrender. It was a rallying cry. To all military forces, it is time to defend our home. Let them know what it means to face humans when they are pushed too far. This was not the action of a defeated species. This was the spirit of a civilization determined to survive, to fight back with everything they had. Across Earth, humanity's greatest minds worked together. They pooled their resources, harnessing the technology they had developed over decades. And, in a matter of hours, something unimaginable happened. In a hidden underground base, a team of scientists led by Dr. Marcus Hale, one of the world's leading engineers, unveiled a new weapon. The humans had developed a ship that could match the Othora's advanced technology. It wasn't perfect, but it was powerful enough to turn the tide. The ship was powered by an experimental energy core, one capable of releasing devastating blasts of energy that could rival even the Othora's weaponry. The humans had created something the Othora couldn't anticipate, a weapon powered by human ingenuity, driven by the will to protect their home. The first human attack came from the skies. A lone human ship, piloted by veteran fighter pilot Captain Leah Dawson, charged straight into the heart of the Othora fleet. The Othora, still overconfident, were caught off guard. Captain Dawson fired the experimental weapon, and an enormous energy blast struck an Othora warship, causing it to explode in a fiery burst. The Othora commanders were stunned. Their flagship, a massive cruiser, had taken minimal damage in past engagements, but this new human weapon had destroyed one of their ships with a single shot. This was no coincidence. The humans were using a technology far beyond their usual capabilities. The Othora scrambled their forces to retaliate. They launched wave after wave of fighters, but the humans fought back with an intensity they had never seen before. Each fighter pilot was determined to protect their world, their families, and their future. They were willing to give everything. As the battle raged on, the Othora began to panic. Their once unbeatable fleet was now losing ships at an alarming rate. They had underestimated humanity's resolve and resourcefulness. Meanwhile, on the ground, Earth's military forces began to deploy their own weaponry. Massive cannons, hidden bunkers, and underground missile silos launched their payloads, striking Othora ships in low orbit. The attacks were relentless, and the Othora soon realized they were being overwhelmed by a species they had dismissed as weak. The Othora fleet had made a critical mistake. They had thought they could subdue Earth with ease. They had thought that humanity's struggles, their wars, their conflicts would make them an easy target. What they hadn't considered was that the human spirit, forged through centuries of hardship, was their greatest strength. Humans were resilient, they were inventive, and above all, they were relentless when defending what they loved. It wasn't long before the Othora fleet began to retreat, their once proud ships damaged beyond repair. The humans had made sure of it. With each passing hour, the Othora were pushed back, their forces scattered across the stars, forced to abandon their mission of conquest. When the Othora finally withdrew, they broadcasted a message to Earth, but it wasn't one of victory, it was one of regret. "We underestimated you, humans." The voice of the Othora commander resonated in the human minds. "We will not return. You are not the species we thought you were. We made a mistake, and it will be one we pay for." The humans, for once, stood united in victory. Their species had proven that even when faced with an enemy far more advanced, the strength of humanity could not be measured by technology alone. The human spirit was something the Othora would never forget. And as the Othora fleet vanished into the void, the humans knew that no matter who came next, they would be ready. The Earth had been defended, and the alien invaders had learned the hard way: never provoke the wrong humans.